Howdy. So the most common step pattern in waltzing is known as the box step. It's called the box step because the dancers move in a box shape as they dance. So the weight is distributed across their feet as they gradually rise and fall across the beats. Standard posture for the waltz is known as closed position. This entails lateral movement, so both dancers are going to move side to side and forward and backwards. The closed position is going to be straight up rather than slumped, and elbows will be parallel to the ground. And for all style of waltzing, the female will be shaped to the man's left arm.
The word waltz is rooted from the German word walzen, meaning to roll, turn, or glide. The waltz was criticized by masters as deeming to be a threat to profession. The waltz also received criticism on moral grounds because of its closer, hold, and rapid turning movements. It started as a dance for German peasants in the 13th century and spread to the suburbs of Vienna by the 16th century. This German peasant dance was morphed into a new dance known as a Weller. In Vienna, the modern form of the waltz was born with the intention of using it in court. The waltz was morphed into Nosarda in France during the 16th century. This increased the popularity of the dance and helped escalate it into high society by the 18th century. The waltz was first recorded in 1834 in Boston. It underwent 2 modifications by the end of the 19th century. The first modification was referenced as the Boston Waltz or Boston Dip, which was slower with long gliding steps. However, it was replaced by the English International style after World War I. The second modification incorporated a hesitation, which involved taking 1 step to 3 beats. Today's waltzes are the modern waltz and the Viennese waltz.
People often say that the music in a waltz is in 3, or have a triple meter. Typical meters for waltzes are 3/4, 3/8, or 3/2. There is a strong emphasis on beat 1. The accompanying beats propel the tune back to 1. It can be visualized through the image of a person leaping, being in the air on beats 2 and 3, and finally touching ground on beat 1. There's a sort of anticipation to it all. This feeling is usually conveyed by placing the root of the chord on beat 1 and non-root notes on the subsequent beats. There's often 1 chord per measure. Originally, waltzes were very fast. However, in the early 20th century, the tempo was slowed, with a tempo range of 84 to 90 beats per minute. Waltzes are often homophonic in texture, having a single melody with accompaniment. Famous composers are Johann Strauss II, Franz Schubert, Frederick Chopin, Johannes Brahms, and Tchaikovsky. Attached is a recording of Johann Strauss II's The Blue Danube Waltz, a perfect example of a waltz.
During the mid-18th century, the waltz was expanded upon. It was originally used for ballroom dancing. As the waltz grew in popularity, it was seen as a widespread threat to cultural norms. This was caused from close dance holds and rapid turning movements, changing the way dancing was viewed in society. On most occasions, the waltz was performed in formal dress attire to represent elegancy and formality. The waltz created a movement of free-form dance and established a more intimate movement of the 2 dancers. The dance was most popular among the wealth and middle class, creating a confident outrage and shift in the expression of dance.
The origins of waltz date back to 1830s Europe, where it was typical for the male to lead while the female follows. This was seen widespread among Europe as it was very male-dominant and patriarchal society. As gender roles have evolved throughout the years, it's reflective of today's waltz dancers as there is no such dominant role being assigned. The inclusion of LGBTQ dancers in the waltzing community is also much more progressive and has come a lot farther than the origins in which homosexuality was scorned as seen through the church. The attire seen in waltzing for both partners is seen as very formal and kind of ball gown styled. So women typically wear full-length dresses where the skirt will reach down to their ankles and never above their knees. Some women even wear opera gloves, but definitely not required. Men wear black tuxedos with white formal shirts and black socks with black polished shoes.